When someone feels they are under a spiritual attack, it often involves a series of experiences or feelings that are out of the ordinary and negatively impact their spiritual well-being and daily life. These experiences can vary widely depending on individual beliefs and contexts, but there are common signs that many people associate with being under a spiritual attack. Here are 5 signs you are under spiritual attack. 1. Confusion about purpose. Every one of us has a unique purpose, the centerpiece of our spiritual journey. This purpose lights a fire within us, guiding us toward our destiny. However, during a spiritual attack, this once bright flame of passion and purpose can dim, making life seem devoid of meaning. The objective of these negative forces during an attack is to derail you from your path, preventing you from accomplishing what you were meant to achieve. By sowing seeds of confusion and distraction, they aim to make you stray from your purpose, leaving you vulnerable to manipulation. These attacks often target your mind, twisting your thoughts and altering your perspective to create doubt. You may be led to believe that you are not capable enough to fulfill your destiny, with various obstacles placed in your way to reinforce these doubts. It's crucial to remember that not every thought or feeling is an accurate reflection of reality or your abilities. The very thing you are destined to do is the source of your strength. Furthermore, these enemies may attempt to push you toward a false purpose, one that leads you away from your true path and into vulnerability and disempowerment. True purpose never arises from pressure or coercion. It is something you are gently led toward, a path that unfolds naturally and aligns with your innermost being. Recognizing the difference between being guided toward your genuine purpose and being pushed into a false one is key to maintaining your spiritual integrity and strength. 2. Difficulty in prayer or meditation. One of the most obvious signs of a spiritual attack is experiencing difficulty in prayer or meditation. These practices are foundational to a strong spiritual life, acting as direct channels for communication and connection with the divine. However, during a spiritual attack, you might find it increasingly hard to focus, feel connected, or even begin these practices. This struggle is not a coincidence. Enemies understand the power of prayer and meditation in strengthening your spiritual armor. By disrupting these practices, they aim to weaken your spiritual foundation, making you more susceptible to doubt, fear, and further attacks. You might feel restless, distracted, or overwhelmed by negative thoughts just when you try to pray or meditate. It might seem as if the peace and clarity these practices once brought are now out of reach. This disruption is a deliberate attempt to isolate you from your spiritual source of strength and guidance. However, recognizing this difficulty as a symptom of a spiritual attack is the first step toward overcoming it. It's crucial to persevere even when it feels most challenging. Simple, focused practices can help rebuild your concentration and connection. Remember, the act of trying to engage in prayer or meditation despite the hurdles is, in itself, a powerful declaration of your commitment to your spiritual path. 3. Old habits and lifestyle resurfacing. Another significant indicator of a spiritual attack is when old habits and aspects of your lifestyle, which you thought you had overcome, suddenly reappear. This can be particularly disheartening and confusing, as it feels like a step backward on your spiritual journey. You may find yourself reverting to behaviors, thoughts, or patterns that no longer serve your highest good or align with the spiritual progress you've made. These old habits can range from minor vices to more significant lifestyle choices that you consciously moved away from in pursuit of a healthier, more spiritually aligned life. The resurgence of these patterns is not a sign of failure but rather a common tactic used by enemies to create doubt, shame, and a sense of defeat. The aim is to disrupt your spiritual momentum and confidence by reminding you of your past vulnerabilities. This strategy plays on the fear that you haven't truly changed or grown, undermining your belief in your spiritual transformation. Acknowledging that this resurgence is a form of spiritual attack is crucial. It's a call to reinforce your spiritual practices and remind yourself of the reasons behind your choices for change. Facing these old habits with awareness and compassion rather than judgment or despair allows you to reaffirm your commitment to your spiritual path and personal growth. With perseverance and faith, you can overcome these obstacles and continue moving forward with greater strength and clarity. 4. Loss of spiritual desire. When someone decides to explore their spirituality or get closer to a higher power, it's common to face challenges. These challenges often get stronger as you start making real progress in your spiritual journey. The main goal behind these challenges or spiritual attacks is to distract you from your true purpose in life. As you become more spiritually aware, you begin to understand your soul's mission. Unfortunately, enemies notice this too, seeing the potential for your bright future. They do everything in their power to prevent it from happening. These enemies try to pull you away from your spiritual path. They might try to confuse you by pretending to be helpful voices in your head. When you're facing these attacks, you might find it hard to engage in spiritual practices. You might struggle to feel connected to the divine as you did before. Praying, reading spiritual texts, or meditating becomes less appealing. Not wanting to pray, read spiritual text, or meditate can be a sign that you're under a spiritual attack, especially if these were activities you used to feel called to do. The negative forces know that they can't bring you down when your mind is filled with positive spiritual thoughts. They know they can't win if you're connected to the divine or if you're constantly in a state of prayer. Pushing away negative energies, so they try to make you lose interest in doing these things. Without prayer, you're more vulnerable. Without reading spiritual texts, you're missing a powerful tool for defense. And without quiet meditation, you miss the chance to listen to the divine. Losing interest in your spiritual practices is a strategy used by these negative forces to weaken your connection to your God, making it easier for them to affect you. 5. Extreme frustration. During a spiritual attack, it's common to feel an overwhelming sense of frustration. Your mind becomes filled with so much tension and negative thoughts that it might feel like you're losing control. This intense mental activity can make you feel trapped and overwhelmed by your thoughts. It's important to remember that not every thought that crosses your mind reflects reality, although it's hard to see that when you're in the midst of a struggle. Issues you believed you had overcome might suddenly resurface, stirring up emotions and contradicting what you know to be true. Memories of challenging relationships or situations you thought you had moved past can unexpectedly come back to haunt you. You might feel lost, as if you're moving through a fog or wading through mud, unable to see clearly or move forward with ease. Old scars from the past, which you thought were healed, may reopen, leading to frustration and anger at yourself for the time you feel you wasted. These overwhelming feelings can take over, causing turmoil within yourself and potentially affecting your interactions with others. This internal conflict and emotional upheaval are exactly what negative forces or enemies aim for during a spiritual attack. The goal is to create enough chaos within you to steer you off your spiritual path and weaken your resolve. Recognizing this as a tactic rather than a reflection of your true self can be a crucial step in overcoming these challenges. You don't need to be overwhelmed by fear or anxiety. That's exactly what enemies aim for, to make you feel scared and uneasy. When you're caught up in fear during challenging times, it diminishes your strength. But remember, there's no need to worry. The Divine Spirit doesn't bring worry into your hearts, instead, it empowers you. Yes, you will face attacks on your spiritual journey, but you're not defenseless. By utilizing all the resources available to you, faith, prayer, meditation, and the wisdom of spiritual texts, you can emerge victorious from these trials. The divine and the universe have already prepared a way out of these challenges, guiding you from the midst of the attack to triumph. Embrace these tools with confidence and faith. They are your shield and your sword, ready to protect you and cut through the darkness. With these at your side, victory isn't just possible, it's assured. Lean into your spiritual practices and let them anchor you. Remember, you're not alone in this fight. The Spirit and the universe are with you, guiding you towards light and victory. I really hope you learned something valuable in today's video. If it resonates with you, please share it with someone who might also benefit from it. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences, so feel free to drop them in the comments below. I wish you an absolutely wonderful day.